So for the 7th reflection, I decided to make a word art that has a whole bunch of words and just in general different tools that I would want to use in my classroom to help integrate in ways that I would want to integrate technology going forward. So after doing the LMS, I found that it was really useful to have something like Seesaw, which is on here somewhere, and just in general as a forum for sharing work with families and also for communicating with families. Sorry, it's just jumping everywhere. But basically, I think that having forums like Seesaw is super helpful for students, families to see what they're doing and what progress they're making, and also as a great way for students to share work with each other. So I'd love to use, oh, there's Seesaw. I would love to use a forum tool like Seesaw going forward in my classroom. I would also want to use, there are just some other tools in here in general that I would use. Duolingo is going to be an important tool for learning language, for practicing grammar and vocabulary. Duolingo, I imagine, is going to be a pretty useful technology piece in any of my classrooms going forward. I also think that the ability to create stories is really important in all language learning, so I put on a lot of words in here and just different tools we can use to create stories. So there's like Toondoo, which I made a reflection with that earlier, Pixton, YouTube, Chatterpix. So there's just a lot of different ideas in here now of different mediums that students can use to share their stories, which I think is another motivating factor for students to do well, is if they know that they'll be sharing their work. So one other idea I have for how I would use technology going forward in my classroom is for students to collaborate and partner with each other. So I have like cross-cultural collaboration is one, so students, there's such thing as I forget what it's called, but a classroom where basically one group of students learning one language somehow connects with another group of students learning another language, or they're learning opposite languages, and they connect and are able to collaborate with each other and teach each other. And so that might be really helpful in a classroom if we can use something like Skype or some other video software tool for our students to collaborate with each other across distances that would otherwise be, insurmountable and pretty difficult to collaborate. But that could be a really cool tool for students to work on their language and just practice speaking in different languages. But yeah, in general, I think I have on here as well having, I think it's partners, student partners, language partners, there it is. So kind of like pen pals or something going forward for students, again, to practice speaking with other people and practice writing and communicating with other people in another language. So the language partners would be, rather than like a pen pal where you have a letter that you send back and forth, this would be something that we could do with video software tools for students to connect. And in general, I would hope that all students are able to present their different creations on social media or on the different forums like Seesaw that we use in class, and can sort of show off what they're learning and share this with each other and with their families.